Hello and welcome to the Anxiety Project YouTube channel. In this video, I am talking about bad habits that need to be replaced before bed. Now, these habits can be anywhere from drinking coffee to watching TV. So I'm going to give you 5 habits that need to be replaced in order to feel anxiety free and to get a good night's sleep, because a good night's sleep affects your mood and affects your anxiety the next day. So bear in mind that there are 2 very important times of your day that you need to pay attention to. It's the hour after you wake up, and then it's the hour before bed. Now, the hour after you wake up sets you up for the day, and whatever you do in that hour, it bleeds out into the rest of your day. The hour before bed, that's the time where you give back to yourself. That's the time where you reflect on how the day went. That's the time where you prepare the body for sleep. Now, you don't want to neglect the hour after you wake up and the hour before bed. These are your 2 most crucial times. Now, my old self, my old anxious self, that Brad stayed up till 2 a.m. That Brad hung around negative friends late at night. That Brad ate junk food late at night. That Brad didn't have any structure. And so that just snowballed. And when I started to suffer more anxiety, I just kept putting band-aids over my problems. I would drink coffee or junk foods, or I would sit in front of the TV, whatever it was. So that just kept snowballing my anxiety. And then I finally had a full-blown panic disorder. And so that was a rough time in my life. And so that was the time where I had to really open my eyes to what I was doing on a daily basis that was impacting my mental health. And so I'm going to go over 5 important bad habits that need to be replaced in order to gain that restful sleep, in order to add that order to all of that chaos. Now, I'm going to start off with number 5. Number 5 is caffeine. Now, caffeine was something I was addicted to. I would drink coffee throughout the day just to boost up my mood, because when suffering from anxiety, you feel emotionally exhausted often throughout the day. So I needed that caffeine to boost up my mood, to get me to more awake, right? And I liked the taste. I would put sugar in the coffee and lots of cream, and so I liked all of that. And so when going through my anxiety recovery, I realized that caffeine was only putting fuel on my anxiety. So I had to reduce it and then get rid of it completely. Not all of caffeine, but coffee specifically. Coffee has the most caffeine. So once I stopped drinking coffee, I felt the withdrawal symptoms. I got the headaches, I got the irritability, the restlessness, and the fatigue. And so at that point, I knew that coffee had a huge impact over my health and my anxiety. So if you're drinking coffee now, I recommend that you stop drinking it by 4 p.m. This is going to help you sleep better at night. In all, I recommend you stop. I recommend that you gradually wean yourself off coffee. For me, I replaced that coffee with decaf coffee. That I still like the taste, but I didn't get the effect of all of that caffeine, and replace that coffee with teas as well. Teas, herbal teas, caffeine-free herbal teas at night. Those teas help you get a better sleep. Chamomile tea, jasmine tea, some jasmine caffeine-free, jasmine, There's a lot of nighttime herbal teas, peppermint teas. These are great teas to help you sleep, right? So replace that caffeine, those sodas, the coffee, and those black teas, and replace those with herbal teas late at night. Stop drinking those heavy caffeine drinks way before bed. Number 4 is work. Reduce the amount of work you have to do before bed. Give yourself an hour of your time before bed. So make sure you have an hour to unwind and give back to yourself before you go to sleep. And so that means you have to stop work 1 hour before you plan on going to bed. Now, whether it's an assignment or a deadline or a test or whatever it is, you have to reduce it, because if you stop doing your work and then hop into bed, you're not really going to fall asleep right away. You're going to be up, your mind's going to be racing, and you need to give back to yourself. And so for me, I always give myself that time before bed to unwind. When I was working as a camera trainee, I was working 16 hours a day. I was working 80-hour work weeks. Even though I was exhausted when I came home, I still gave myself that half an hour to unwind. I would meditate. I would hop in a nice warm bath with Epsom salts. I would journal. I would light some incense. I would just give back to myself that way. And that helped me go into my sleep and then wake up feeling that much more refreshed. I was still tired, but I felt better than if I was to just jump right into bed. So replace that work late at night with a book. Sit down with a book and read. That helps calm the mind. It's not stressful. It's not stimulating. Depends if it's an exciting book, but it's not as stimulating as that stressful work. Now, number 3 is TV. Now, obviously, TV is very stimulating, and it needs to be cut off an hour before bed. I watched TV while I was in bed. It was a bad habit of mine. I would watch TV, jump into bed. Sometimes watch TV while in bed. Now, the blue light that comes from the TV, that actually suppresses the melatonin in your system. Melatonin is a hormone that regulates the sleep-wake cycle. And that's going to impact your sleep. If you're watching TV, if you fall asleep with the TV on, it's going to impact your sleep and how restful you are the next day. So I recommend you remove the TV from your room. There should be no TV in your room whatsoever. And I recommend stopping all TV 1 hour before bed. And so that's just going to help you just sleep so much better and feel refreshed the next day. But if you like that background noise of the TV, if that helps calm the mind, replace that TV background noise with a radio with nature sounds or binaural beats. Those are very nice to fall asleep to. So those are good replacements. And also replace TV with a hot bath. Take a nice bath instead. That helps calm the body. Get some nice Epsom salts in there and light some incense and relax and unwind. You are going to feel your anxiety lessen and lessen. But TV also puts a Band-Aid on all of those underlying issues that you need to deal with. It's so easy to flick on the TV and just watch a TV show. But meanwhile, below your conscious awareness, you have all of these issues that you need to deal with. So spending that time in the bath, lighting incense, not in front of the TV. That gets you time to yourself, gets you time to get to know yourself better. Number 2 is Dr. Google. Dr. Google. Now, as a previous health anxiety sufferer myself, I was on Dr. Google all the time. I was curious about the sensations I was feeling. And Dr. Google, once you go on that, you're going to find the worst case scenario. Google always presents the worst case. Since humans are tilted more towards negative emotion, we are going to react to the catastrophic outcomes Google has to offer, right? A rash could be just a rash, but we're not going to pay attention to that on Google. We're going to pay attention to, skin cancer, a disease, right? Because we're more tilted towards that. We are expecting that that is the worst case because we're already sensitized. So if you go on Dr. Google before bed, that's just going to fire up your anxiety response. Your stress response is going to go through the roof. All of those symptoms are going to flush right through you, and you're not going to get to sleep. You're going to be up ruminating. You're probably going to go to a family member, a loved one for reassurance. You're probably going to put a Band-Aid on those feelings by doing something destructive, right? A bad habit, whatever it is. So avoid Googling your symptoms and replace that with meditation. Meditation helped me avoid Google. Now with meditation, not only do you get to spend time with yourself, but meditation activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest system. You start to give back to yourself. You start to feel more relaxed. Your anxiety lessens. And so you start to view your sensations as being natural bodily sensations rather than putting a catastrophic label on them. And that's where body scan meditations come into play. Do body scan meditations. You get to familiarize yourself with your body. You become more comfortable in your own skin rather than sensitized and fearful over those sensations. That brings us to number 1. Number 1 is being on your phone. Now, we're living in a time where our phones are attached to us. Like Elon Musk says, a phone is an extension of you. But this can be an issue because like the TV, the phone, the light from the phone does suppress that melatonin, and it's preventing you from getting a full night's rest. Do as I do. Put the phone in a different room on charge and not in the room where you sleep. I do this every night because I used to be that guy where I would fall asleep and then right when I was about to get fully into my sleep, the phone would vibrate and I would wake up again and be like looking on my phone. That was my old self. And so it was just too much of a distraction. And the energy radiating from the phone does impact you as well. So keep the phone in a different room. Keep it away from you. That's only going to impact you. Social media, YouTube, games on your phone, whatever it is, messaging, only stimulates you. That only activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is your stress response. That's only going to get worse the more you're on your phone. So get off your phone. The best replacement for your phone is journaling. Get out a journal and write and reflect on your day. Read a book or meditate or do some stretching, whatever it is. Have that free time away from your phone, away from those contacts. You don't need to message that person. Spend some time with yourself. You are going through anxiety. You're going through health anxiety. You're going through a rough time in your life. You need more order to all of this chaos. So you have to add discipline. All of these bad habits need to be replaced. But with that replacement, it requires discipline to keep doing those replacement habits. So anxiety recovery is a mental challenge. It's the greatest challenge you're going to face, but it's only going to improve you mentally, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, and physically. All of those things. So remember, do not let anxiety define who you are, and pay attention to those bad habits you do on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I post all videos on anxiety recovery, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think and what you're going through, and I'll answer. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next video. Bye.